Good day everyone, I am Mary Grace Canete, and for this video, I am going to tackle about the best ways to use technology for learning. First, let us define what is ICT literacy. ICT literacy in education is the ability of a person to define, access, integrate, evaluate, manage, create, and communicate with ICT tools and resources. Someone who does possess these attributes is known to be an ICT literate person. The development of ICT literacy in education is significant as schools are preparing young adults to meet the challenges of the future. Literacy with ICT is about critical and creative thinking, digital citizenship, and knowing how to use technology safely, healthily, responsibly, and ethically to meet our needs. ICT pervades all parts of life, allowing people to communicate, network, seek help, access services, and learn in new, better, and faster ways. For teachers, it is very useful, but it is not just about acquiring skills, but developing an understanding and judgment on how to use those skills appropriately. There are common uses of ICT in classroom presentation, such as Microsoft PowerPoint. But when teaching with technology in classroom, there are many ways ICT can offer. Word processors. It can be used throughout any curriculum and in all key learning areas. It is important not just to use it just so the students can present their work neatly as a final piece of work. Like most software, you need to select the most opportunities in which word processing software can facilitate, enhance, or expand children's learning. Databases and spreadsheets. To develop ICT capability, embed meaningful activities in purposeful subject-related contexts by providing them with the knowledge of the principles and processes required to enter and manipulate data. This will help them learn something about the subject being taught. Graphics software. Generic and affordable programs are readily available to enable children to develop capabilities in drawing and painting programs. Images can be used in literacy lessons, and when they create their own using their programs, it adds a whole new level of engagement in it. Presentation software. Incorporate a multimedia element in your activities by using presentation programs that uses video, images, sound, and animation. They can develop slideshows and digital presentations with sound and music. Teaching ICT skills for an online and digital world. When using ICT in the classroom, there are a number of ICT skills for teachers to master. This is important as the level of ICT capability of a teacher will have a direct impact on the development of student ICT capability. Teacher ICT capability is not about being an expert on everything about ICT and knowing everything about it. Let's face it, the level of development in ICT is ever increasing. There is no way this can be done. Instead, teacher ICT capability is about developing an understanding and judgment about the most appropriate ways to use ICT classroom teaching. The ICT in classrooms must also be suitable for the development of student ICT capability. This means that it must challenge students intellectually, Promote a high level of decision making by the students and not the technology. Be generic and content-free aware, and enable a student full control. ICT skills for teachers. Word processing. The word processor has ICT techniques for students that is transferable across all key learning areas. For you as a teacher, you will apply your knowledge, skills, and understanding of word processors in two different ways. The first, therefore, will be about teaching and learning with ICT, not just to support subject learning, but also to develop student ICT capability. The other one, of course, is to do with your own professional use. However, the widespread use of word processors makes it one of the best ways to capitalize on its generic use in subject learning, such as in English learning, and develop student ICT capability. You need to be competent and confident users of it. This does not mean that you need to know the answers to every question, but to have a working knowledge of it so that you can plan, support, and assess its use in activities, along with being able to predict any arising difficulties. Spreadsheets. Spreadsheets is one of the top 21st century ICT skills for teachers. The modeling of spreadsheets in the classroom is important because it may appear very mathematical, business-oriented. The educational potential in quantitative subjects is considerable. They enhance the display and analysis of data, enabling students to gain rapid and accurate summaries and graphs from raw figures. The knowledge, skills, and understanding of spreadsheets, therefore, have relevance across the primary curriculum. As a teacher, you might use them for compiling grades of your students. Graphics software. Using ICT in the classroom should not necessarily require a high level of ICT skills for teachers. There are many graphic programs that is generic and very easy to use. Examples of such include drawing and painting programs like MS Paint or even the latest version, Paint 3D. Databases. Like spreadsheets, the use of this ICT in the classroom can be just as widespread. They are useful in education as they enable students to analyze the information they are recording. This, in turn, brings about a greater understanding than merely reading the information. It will be important for you to show students how to understand the information they are generating as they generate suitable questions and interpret the results they obtain. Presentation software skills. When developing student ICT capability, an important part of your teaching needs to involve enabling students to have conceptual understanding behind every ICT technique they use. For presentation software, the concepts of transition and animation are therefore important in designing a presentation and do not have equivalents in the printed form. Also, for you as a teacher, presentations have tremendous values in supplementing and supporting an oral presentation by showing visually the structuring of ideas in a more effective way. The key elements in the program can help with the emphasis of points and the focusing of students' attention on key issues and relationships. Information literacy skills. Web searching skills are important skill to have not only for the 21st century teacher but also for students. You will need to model the correct way how to search for the information on the World Wide Web on a daily basis, at times depending on the activity that you set for students. Honestly, Any activity that involves students researching information for their work will need you to demonstrate these ICT techniques. Information literacy skills have widespread implications across all key learning areas as you learn to become more of a facilitator of knowledge than a provider of knowledge and information in your classroom. Email skills. Emails, as you know, are interactive as well as asynchronous. You can also send large amounts of information worldwide at no extra costs. However, did you know that it also has applications for the development of literacy? The language that people use to write emails is different at times. Modeling email etiquette will be very important for you to include in your planning.